Hey guys, did you miss me? It's a Sunday, and you know what? I was going to do a Friday flashback 2 days late because notes printed out right here. Unfortunately, due to tiredness after the week I've had in Guildford, which went great by the way, thanks for asking, MSDC Punk, and also in the combination with my eyesight going a bit yeah when I'm trying to read these out earlier, and this annoying and extremely excruciating seething back pain, I have unfortunately not been able to deliver this Friday flashback, so I'm going to do that next week. So you're going to get a raw reaction and in the news a Friday flashback and my Q&A next week. That's something from me not putting any videos up at all last week due to me being in Guildford. But I recently was just thinking, I got into bed thinking, okay, I could do something to you guys here for not being here for a week. And I looked up on the internet. I haven't been on the wrestling sites for a couple of days. Thought I'd do a bit of a searching to see what I could find of any note. And there was one thing that caught my eye. No, it wasn't thanks to Joe, of course, sending me a link to Goldberg trashing WWE on no DQ. It wasn't that. Which you probably would have thought would be thinking, oh yeah, Goldberg, I don't give a shit. Have a nice life wrestling Batista in the Congo. That sounds gay, but honest to God, both of them kind of are, so don't even try. But then again, what shocked me was, well, not really shocked me, but just a bit of inevitable, that Matt Hardy has been released from TNA. It wasn't the fact he got released, but the fact he was done because of a DWI charge. Drunk while under, not drunk, but driving while under the influence of drugs. Now, this is obviously a sign, isn't it? Your brother is coked out of his mind, is on drugs like there's no tomorrow, he's in court for possession, which has been delayed for 2 years. I don't know. And he's possibly on the road to complete oblivion. He doesn't want to accept help. Gregory Helms, same thing. Kinda. Drunk of his mind, nearly dies in a motorbike crash. And then this. Matt Hardy, you get done on a DWI, and then you find out you're released. I'm surprised your brother Jeff hasn't followed you. You kind of get where I'm going with this. This is a symbolism of what leaving the WWE can also do to you. It also symbolizes that people, if you do hard drugs, if you do drink a hell of a lot, like I bet these guys and Gregory Helms do. And then again, Gregory Helms has been involved in a few very, very ridiculous bust-ups in the past. Him and Chris Jericho in 2009 as a blunt example. This kind of shows that when you leave WWE, you need to know what the hell you are doing. Because, think about it for a second. These guys went to TNA because they are big names in a way. Gregory Helms, one of the most successful cruiserweight wrestlers of the last 10 years. Matt and Jeff Hardy, one of the most successful tag teams ever. And in Jeff's case, one of the most profitable stars of TNA in the early years and of WWE in the early part of the 2000s decade and the latter part as well. This shows that if you haven't really got a clear edge, you are getting nowhere. Because they went to TNA, where they knew the drug policies were severely relaxed. Why the hell do you think RVD is there? So he can jack off as much marijuana as he wants to, but he at least cleans himself up a bit and understands when he's crossed the line and then goes out there and performs good matches. Sting will know, Jeff, that you fucked up royally by being off your face when a big title match was on. I honestly don't know how you expect the wrestling majority to believe for a second that you are a respectable human being by going into the profession you love, high off your face to the point where you have no idea what the hell you are, and attempt to wrestle a match and make a complete mockery of not just yourself, but the people who are watching this shit. That's why I don't watch TNA, because I know, looking at the people, not is there just a sleazebag in Hulk Hogan, a slightly corrupt and evil guy called Eric Bischoff. I also know there's a whiny bitch called Dixie Carter who thinks she knows what she's doing. And I look at the roster, there's some great guys on there, but I look at the Hardys, I look at Gregory Helms. Well, of course, was he signed to them? No. But it still kind of kicks in because they're really good friends. But I look at that and look at the marijuana issue with Van Damme and think, I can't take TNA seriously. People have often said to me, you don't watch TNA or you're a WWE mark, aren't you? There's a reason. Oh yeah, I can't tolerate Mike Tenay. He doesn't get me interested. I find the Impact Zone to be extremely devouring. There's no passion in there. Screaming fans, yeah, but it just feels compact. I'm fine. I'm a fan of small arenas, and I'm a fan of energy from a crowd. But this is it's too small for a wrestling crowd to go ballistic. I'm sure having an arena of at least 10,000 people is enough, and it is. But TNA needs to learn to get out of their little horseshoe that they've been stuck in for the best part of a decade. And the fact is, with TNA, I've always had this issue that their product is always as bad as the people who are on it. I mean, if you've got Hogan and the Hardys in there, who are some of the finest examples of wrestling gone downhill, then why should I even bother putting my time in there? Sure, there's Taz. Sure, there's Daniels. Sure, well, I think he's with Ring of Honor officially now, but nonetheless, there's only a few people who I could really give two shits about on TNA, and that's why I don't watch it. It's just looking at where Hulk Hogan went from WWF in the 80s and 90s to WCW, where his career rocketed. Then it petered out a lot. Then he came back to WWE in a huge fire rocket of, yeah, I'm back, the best in the world is here. And then he just left again. Vanished for a while, came back again, then vanished again. Came back at TNA and he's, of course, made a complete arse of himself. But I'll get to that in a later video, trust me. You then look at guys like Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy who had moderate single success, great tag team success, and were adored by the fans. And you look at them now and they were confident, they were happy to be in the wrestling industry because they were achieving a dream of theirs that they had wanted to achieve. And look at them now. Look at these two. They are the prime examples of not just wrestling gone wrong, but the fact is that these guys, they're on hard drugs. They're getting high in their workplace to the point where they can't control their lives anymore. I actually thought it was just Jeff, but fuck me, I did not expect even Matt Hardy, because I thought he was the sensible one. Because in a sibling partnership, there is always a sensible one. Every duo, brother bonding, or even a sister bonding, there's always a sensible one. And this is where I kind of draw the line and think, where the fuck have you been for your brother when he's been off his face? What, thinking, oh, what are you doing there? You're snorting, smoking some drugs? You know what? Let me have some of that. I want to feel like you feel. Nah. The thing is, I don't know how Jeff Hardy has not been sent to prison by now. I am amazed that some people still worship him. Are you on crack as well? I mean, sure, the guy is extremely flashy. He's all over the place with extremely high-flying moves that actually, to be honest, make you go, what the hell? But then you kind of look past that. And his shallow mic skills didn't really help. But the fact is, no wonder he could pull this shit off, because he's probably slightly high whilst pulling off this insane crap that we love so much. It's only when he left WWE that we kind of realised how much of a shallow and morbid human being Jeff Hardy was, because when he left in 2009, I thought for sure he was just leaving because he wanted to take some rest. Kurt Angle said he wanted to take some rest, didn't he? Then he joined up with TNA. I thought, oh, what a surprise. Then to find out he's been done on drug charges, I thought, thank fuck WWE, we haven't got him there. Because this guy, He's better off in jail. He's not better off dead. There are two things that could happen here. You could either be in a prison cell where doing drugs in there adds to his prison term, or he could be 6 foot under in a grave. And that is something I bet a lot of those Jeff Hardy fans really do not want to see. Because, the thing is, I'm an advocate for personal having drugs, obviously, because I, being straight edge, am all for it. CM Punk's feud spoke the truth. The fact that Jeff Hardy was fired once by WWE for having drugs in his locker room bag, ready to do them at that point, and he got fired in, I think, was like February, March 2003. And then he came back, he was all clean, and he suddenly just went back on it, This drugs can hook inside you. The thing is, this combines with TNA for me, because if TNA are... Okay, they're taking a stance on Matt Hardy here. They're saying to Matt, okay, you're obviously out of control, we're firing you. But can you do the same to Jeff? Can you fire the guy because he ruined a pay-per-view main event for you? He has no showed events, no showed autograph signings. He's made a complete arse of yourself and put a black spot on your company for accepting a WWE dropout who has a history of drug problems, because you know that for merchandising and publicity, it could help you. This is a reason why TNA does not go past me. Because not only is it inferior as a wrestling product, despite what they've got, they're lackadaisical and stupidly lazy way of keeping their talent on strings allows them to do what Jeff Hardy does. And I cannot take a wrestling company seriously if they do this. And honestly, to think this is the reason why I won't watch TNA, because they're fucking stupid. If you go to TNA, your career ain't going to go anywhere. Yeah, Anderson, you can go back there, beat up Randy Orton. Actually, in personal opinion, we'd all welcome you to do that, because the guy's a fucking douchebag. We'd all welcome that with open arms. But the fact is, TNA, the fact that you've released Matt Hardy is only the start. Release Jeff Hardy. Fire Hulk Hogan. Get your act together. I might actually be slightly interested in your product. But until you just look at what you're encouraging. Drink and drug use by your wrestlers, not taking care of themselves. You can just get the fuck out, and I don't want to have anything to do with you. Guys, subscribe, like, comment, put your Q&A questions up on the channel link. This improv rant, I'm done. See you guys on Monday. Cheers.